Hello, HeARTation community. Today I want to talk about grief and sadness. You see, as we move through life, at some point we experience sadness or grief. It could be having a miscarriage, the end of a relationship, the death of a loved one, or even a pet, or even missed opportunities in our career or work. Grief is a natural and perfectly normal reaction to loss and change. The vast majority of people are resilient and recover from it completely. But just because it is normal and expected, that doesn't mean going through the process of grieving or sadness is easy or even something you can anticipate. So I'll start with defining the 5 stages of grief and share with you 3 ways on how you can transform and manage your grief as a guide that may help you cope with it in a healthy way. So I use this acronym called DABDA, denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and also acceptance. So the first one, denial, it's all about the occurrence of the sad or grieving event itself, which you can't come to terms with. Why do you feel angry? You are upset at a point through what has occurred and the experience that you are going through. What is it in bargaining? This is a form of negotiating where it might be something like asking God or maybe the doctor, for example, take us instead, or why didn't I leave him instead in a relationship? We're asking how we can get this person or this situation back that we loved or held on to so dearly. So the second D, which is depression. So this is the most long-standing stage where it could be overwhelming sadness due to chronic depression or even situational depression. Some can even last for so many years. You may be stuck in this phase for a really long time, but that does not make you weird. The final stage of grieving or sadness is acceptance. Of this change in your life, this is the new normal. Learn to accept it. This is the experience of having to move on or move forward without that person or a situation. So this is my definition of grief and sadness in a nutshell. It's not necessary that you experience all these 5 stages in order, but it might be in different phases at different periods in your life depending on what you are experiencing. I've tried many techniques and strategies with my clients, and these are some of the things that have stuck with me with genuine feedback from them that have been useful, including using these transforming skills in my own journey of grief and sadness. So here are my 3 tips that have worked best. Tip number 1. Share your struggles with your support system. It is totally okay to be struggling with the reality without that person or an unfortunate situation, but be open and honest with those you consider your close support system. Tell them what you're struggling with. Bring them in the loop and let them know what you do or don't need. They are there to help you, so reach out. Don't bottle up those feelings of frustration or crying or confusion. Rely on your go-to coping mechanisms. This is tip number 2 of the grieving process. Think about your daily coping mechanisms, the ones you use when you're stressed or upset. Something like working out at the gym, doing yoga or meditation, perhaps journaling or drawing, even doing house chores. Start with one of these to deal with your sadness and see if it helps under these grieving circumstances too. The idea is to try the least invasive approach that you tried and your tried and tested coping mechanism. If you're still struggling, you say, okay, how do I enhance this or how do I ramp this up? The third and final tip is take a break from grieving. Rest up. This is an unfamiliar technique, but many of my clients and I found it to be quite useful. You can grieve or be sad about a loved one or a situation by taking a break in between. Recharge, take rest, and get back into the process. So this is my suggestion. You can try allocating a grieving or a sad day, let's say once a month, or eventually after that once or twice a year. What you can do on this predetermined day or maybe part of the day, what you can do is maybe look at pictures or watching videos of your loved ones who passed on maybe, or maybe memories of your previous relationship. You can even write your thoughts down by journaling or writing your thoughts of a sad situation or a sad experience. So what you're doing here is ritualizing and you're taking control of the grief to some extent without causing much intrusion into your daily life. Now, if you feel the grief or sadness you're experiencing is difficult to manage, please seek help professionally. I hope these tips help you to understand that we all have different levels of fear, sadness, and grief, and it manifests in different ways. Be compassionate and patient to yourself. This too shall pass.